going to go on to now a recap of the Surf and Cortez battle. So just afterwards, before, can't remember in which order it happened, but we got the thank you, Tom Tom, much love. We got the announcement. I mean, we got, yeah, can't remember if it was before the UM5 bracket reveal or afterwards, but we had the live premiere of the Surf and Cortez battle. I've just realised I haven't even read back my notes yet, and I probably should have done that. But let's just get straight into it now. Like I said, it was the rematch. This one should have gone down, I don't know, a couple of months ago. Which card was that? I forget what card it was, but obviously there was the incident at an event and it couldn't take place, was rescheduled. Now, really odd, Cortez decides to go first. And I think that was I thought it was a really odd decision. A lot of the crowd are going to be Surf fans. They're waiting to hear Surf. They stood there, you know, how long waiting to see Surf. It just seems like you kind of give him an advantage by going first anyway. That's always the case. Surf isn't the biggest rebuttaler, but, you know, it's always an advantage. You get to see your opponent. Maybe, I was thinking, was he anxious? Did he just want to get it out? Because maybe he had a lot of faith in his opener, which we're going to get to. Now, he had this really, like right on his opener, this sort of crowd participation bit where, you know, he wants a sort of call and response type thing with the audience. But what he wants the audience to say is he's got an SMD bit where he's just repeatedly suck my dick, you know, SMD, salute for the follow there, the roughness. Thank you. It's a really bizarre, to me it was like, who did you run that by? Like who suggested that you haven't even warmed up the crowd, you haven't even got the crowd on your side, you're starting dry, you're battling Surf, like the biggest star in this thing in terms of, you know, star power, that it factor, if you like. You're battling the it boy, and you start by trying to get the audience to say suck my dick. Like it just seemed like a really bad strategy to me. And he didn't, you know, he didn't win the crowd. And I think Cortez is one of those performers who really wants that reaction. He really, you can see, you know, it affects him when he's spitting fire and the crowd is not feeling it. He's not getting that energy back from the crowd. And here, when, you know, you've got SMDs kind of falling flat, it didn't make for a very, very strong start. Then he moves on from the SMD stuff. He's got quite a few titles, like gun titles flips, which are really creative. I liked it. Can spray over the title, Hollywood Hogan. 45 and chasing a title, I'm Tom Brady, fire. Then he flips Surf's famous earn an ash line. You see more when you're dead anyway. That's how you earn an ash. Scope out the neighborhood, I might buy a house here. Or scope neighborhood, I might buy a house here. Wrapped him in plastic like Nana's house chair. Nice. So after that dry kind of start, little reaction, the crowd is really warming into it now. He's spitting. Did I say that bit? The Nana's chair, wrapped him in plastic like Nana's chair, fire. What the fuck is a wave? When my grandfather literally moonwalked on water, that got a really big reaction. I was fucking with that. Was talking about, you know, his people coming over, walking on water. Then he has the like a Spanish bars. What I have to do, put it in subtitles, hitting licks before I knew my native tongue, fire. Then he's talking about like whether he's Puerto Rican or Mexican. They only care if I'm black on this card. Who gives a fuck about race? if dead is how they identify him, fire. Talking about levels, every casket is 6 feet. Kidnapping neighborhood is an Amber Alert. Amber Alert. Spin slide on the wave. Don't go chasing waterfalls. A fire TLC reference there. PPE, we'll talk about the PP loan, but it ain't my business. Fire. And then he says in the third round, we got some shit to speak about, as Cortez does. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. He doesn't. Then so Surf starts, and he starts with a kind of rebuttal. He flips like the Spanish thing with a Colombian necktie reference. It was okay. It was kind of mid, but you know, you give your opponent that immediate rebuttal advantage when you let them go first, or when you go first. I mean, when you go first, you give them an advantage. So. Your birth date, your death date, your birth date will equal your death date. Your lifespan is a hyphen. I messed that up somewhat, but it was fire. I'll let it rip off air. Mike Tyson, and then he gets into this really nice section where it's all in the same rhyme scheme. Be with the wings. That's a Breitling. You push to the side, that type writing, fire. Stinking, reeking everywhere is Dykeman. Now I saw some stuff on my timeline like, oh, why is everyone reacting to that? Who knows what Dykeman is? Why, the audience don't know Dykeman, they're not New York people. And I saw quite a few people saying exactly the same thing, why I know it. Joe Budden talks about going to Dykeman to go and see pretty Latinas all the time. I didn't really make the distinction that it's, more Dominican, is it, than Puerto Rican. If you asked me, I probably would have said Dominican. But it for the majority of us, I think if you know the reference, you enough. If you're not from New York, it landed. Might be a reach to everyone else, but I don't know, it landed. And a lot of people know that from, Joe Budden podcasts or from other, it's referenced by New York rappers all the time. So yeah, staying on this same rhyme scheme, finger licking like grandma made it. Sheng Tsung took twerk soul, got animated. Bigger 9 in a stroller like Spanish babies. Oh. He did a boot block on mi casa, su casa, fire. And then he gets into a whole other pocket after that. He got caught in the mouth with Bachi, bald head, blue in his eyes. I make a Nazi, sideburns like a Ashanti, fire. And he's in his surf bag. He's up there. The audience are repeating, or the crowd are repeating back every line. He does that thing where he just stops and brings it back couple bars each time, and they just, rap along with him the whole time. Fire. He's Alonte West, a motherfucking bum. Go through. I missed a bit of this, but the coordinate everything I thought was fire. Something about Rose every stage. Selena down. Fire. Obviously, Selena and the Roses, a signature. I'll expose the pussy in bodega, always lying on the bread. Crazy. Even, in the UK, about, if you've never been in a bodega, and I actually have, but if you never, was there a cat? I'm sure there's probably a cat. If you know about the cats lying on the warm bread in the bodega thing. It's it's global, baby. I can't make them put respect on your name, but I can make them put your name on a headstone. Crazy round from Surf. Really strong start, strong finish as well. Started strong, ended really well, consistent all the way through, getting in these different pockets, high energy, and as usual, the crowd is eating out of the palm of his hand. I don't know why Cortez gave away or chose to go first. He's a vet, so really, could it be anxiety? I don't know. Maybe he was just so keen. He just thought that SMD stuff would suck some of the crowd energy away from Surf. I don't know. I just think strategically it was a wrong decision. Yeah, and they're sitting there waiting for Surf to rap. You don't kind of give him any advantage. But going into the second round, for me, this was Cortez's best round. He starts with me suing the URL, suing the URL, the North stuff. Caught snatching grandson like child murderers, fire. Pete Davidson, I sleep with the K, nice. As a Sue Sharp reference in there, went from cracking the vault to breaking the bank. Talk your shit, Cortez. He says, I was pushing lean way back when R. Kelly was pushing Pete. That's nasty in my Cortez voice. Nasty. I don't like those lines. I'd be rapping about Kelly pissing on little. Anyway, then he's got a Booker T reference in there. It's kind of a little pre-bowl rebuttal. I don't know if it was in there anyway, or he slept it in there, or snuck it in there. It's bodega, but my cats ain't sleep. Then probably best line of the battle. He performed it really well. Dope setup as well. Say nasty. Next time you hear that, your casket's closing. Crazy. So flipping Sue Surf's lockpick line. I need to work on my E's. Dragged it forever. Hermaphrodite has an agenda. Then he had a really nice blood stain on the white tee till tie dyes, nice. Tide dyes, and there was something in there as well. Was it like the half moon or something? Did he have a half moon, which was even more? Did I not write that down? Was there something that added even more fire to that? I think it might have been a spin blocks, like it's no parking. Just because you was locked doesn't mean you're not going to tell. Talking about him being locked up. Didn't you start Midnight Madness? You still lock him with 12. Fire round from Cortez, rapping really nicely. The caskets closing bar set up nice. The court snatching grandson like child murderers had a really nice setup as well. Grimy, dope. Surf comes out, talking about how he's been on meth stick for the last 12 years, not Surf. Cortez. And then he's got a deli scheme, which is really nice. It's kind of layered as well. Say everything from the back of bodega, chopped cheese. I didn't write down everything from the scheme, but it was very layered, and he kind of brings it back again as well. Why is court in the middle of my shit? Kids don't deserve that. Them little kind of cheeky Surf lines, nice. Core cast all white. See how getting it Seinfeld, nice core all white cast. And he's got like a tortilla line, empanada, plantain. There was a lot of food. And it's plantain, not plantain. If you want to say it correctly. 16 squeezing the whip, and then wetbacks. Didn't like that. I don't like the. Well, I guess, whatever, it's battle rap. Then he's got like a StockX and a sneaker scheme, body loser pigment, skin tone talk, cool grey, it's nice. And then he kind of finishes, jerseys, pretty often jerseys, but it seems like he cut the round short. It wasn't a long round at all. And then he says, Jersey, you take that round. So he gives him the round. He says, you won it. So when a battle rapper says, you got that, it's very hard for me to justify how you got it. You just given it away from him. You won't fight for it. So I'm not inclined to fight for you if you don't even believe in that round. And I didn't see anything that was, I thought Cortez took it fairly comfortably in that second round. Yeah, the casket closing, cracking the vault to breaking the bank, the child murderers, court snatching grandson like child murderers. Yeah, it was just a stronger, more consistent, better material for me. I like the deli stuff from Surf, but he himself felt that he lost it. Did I write in this? Was it in the second? did I not? Right. There was some. So Surf starts kind of talking through his rounds. I think it's probably really in the third that he's really talking to him. But I mean, the whole way he's kind of ad-libbing, and he's giving him praise. He's like saying, yeah, dope. Oh, I don't know why they're not reacting. Like, that was fire, Cortez. Like, kind of G'ing him up type thing. Really trying to, show he's comfortable, he's so in control, you can give him all the props when kind of trying to encourage the crowd. And it's funny because this is Surf's level of control when he kind of encourages the crowd. When he's like, you're not fucking with this, the crowd is like, oh shit, we can fuck with this. All right, let's fuck with this then. All right, all right. And it's that's Surf's power. And I guess has something to do with Cortez's start. I think in the second they were with him every step of the way, really strong round, and he got a lot of reaction. Then in his third, so this is the third where he had some things to talk about. He said that in the first third we got some things to talk about. So I'm waiting. This is a grudge match. This is a grudge match, a rescheduled grudge match where you have plenty of time to write, rewrite, and then go over and edit, because you got all this extra time. Was it a month or something? So let's hear what you had to talk about. So he's talking about what you know about battles being vaulted, and then he flips one of Surf's famous lines. Was it from the John battle? I think so. My battles have been vaulted forever. Still got some rounds in me. Still got some rounds I can't get out. Fire. I love that. Flipping the John. How many bullets in me? Got rounds I can't get out. And he says, nice. One night to fuck up the neighborhood. Let the purge begin. Dope. Last 9 rounds like jazz body, basic bitch, saying Surf's last rounds. Surf goes on and on and on about his last 3 battles, the last 9 rounds, saying he didn't lose one. He's saying now they're basic bitch. I'll lift a battle, A-Rod wave, nice. Put the fear of God in your soul, your fashion weak. Skeleton in my closet, ain't no Mike and Mary's. 50 after he took the 9. This is the aftermath. Ali Roper dope, Buster Douglas uppercut. So basically he's kind of saying, I'm the underdog here. This is my like comeback story, my redemption story. This is what's going on here. 50 after he took the 9 type thing. And he's tell Chess he's bold. I'm cutting his lead. I didn't quite get that. I think something flew out of my head. He must have been making a point, otherwise he wouldn't have said it. Surf duck in the vault like Mr. Scrooge, nice. But although Surf isn't really ducking the vault, he's not really vault. Well, I should have paid more attention to the setup as he's talking about his not coming complete for battles. I don't know. Bray Jazz working and connecting lines when I press 9. I like that. He's going in. Then he's talking about the last battle. You hyped your man. He got cut because of the shit that you do. DNA everywhere, like he's missing teeth. I'll leave DNA everywhere. He's missing teeth. Want to live a pop life like Little Meech. And then I was saying, Surf's kind of really talking through his rounds here. Surf, and then Cortez finishes. I really am a Mexican. I've been back against the wall my whole life. So I thought Surf kind of really looked like he was just trying to throw him off a little bit in that one. I don't know if he was a bit conscious that maybe if I've just given him the last round, I really need to make sure he doesn't win this second. The audience, a lot of the crowd had it 1-1 going into the second as well, especially as Surf had thrown it away on the mic. So maybe he was trying to throw him off. Wouldn't surprise me. Something battlers do, although I think it's bad sportsmanship. You should have enough in your rounds. Salute Dee Dee for the follow. Thank you, darling. Never been. So Surf starts off his round 3 with like this top tier bit of like telling him you've never been top tier. My front end's your whole battle fee basically. JPay, I've been giving niggas on the top tier money, fire. He calls him Battle Rap's Bad Bunny. And now at this point, Cortez is kind of talking through Surf's round. He's giving, he's giving back. He's like, all right, you want to fuck up my round? I'm going to do the same. Going to do the same to yours. You just did it to me. Let's see how you do when I talk through your round. If I catch Bodega after hours, go and see an arm out the window. Dope. Stock drop. You need to Dow Jones. Dow Jones. That was a play on Sirius Jones. Nice. Listen, John B. If you ain't trying to be where John B, don't listen to what people say. Like where John is. With John B, don't listen to. If you're not old enough, get to know. And then he spits this bar for Vixen, and then he says, "My bad, wrong material." It's the little things, man. It's the little things. It was obviously he was supposed to battle Vixen. He rearranged with Cortez instead, and Vixen battled Rock. So he, spit a bar as though it came out by mistake, one of his Vixen bars, and it was just like a little nice humorous touch. And like I say, it's the little things that just kind of add a little creativity, something different. Rex had you sleeping on a sectional. He's telling me getting paid $850 for battles on Ultimate Madness. And he said he's got this whole bit. You want to know what's Ultimate Madness? Saying a few things which are Ultimate Madness. One of which is that you were in the spaces, like basically saying your mother has nappy hair to try and identify your blackness, and he's got like an Afro pick bar fire. The only race that matters are one to the hospital. Then he gets in, says he gave the gun to Math. Why didn't you do it yourself? And then he talks about when Diz popped on Math as well. Talks about him being a nut chaser in New York. References Iron Goods and Math. And yeah, kind of finishes the round on that. It was a shorter round, I think, but a better one. I think Cortez's was definitely his best was definitely in the second round, and considering this is a grudge match, he didn't really say much. He said there's some things to talk about in the third, and he kind of said, "I'm the underdog" type thing. This is my fight back, and I think he did well. I think it was a solid Cortez, but it wasn't. I think we saw better performances from Tez. He looked more dangerous in the tournament, in the UM3 tournament. He looked more impressive to me. Definitely, looked more impressive. Except maybe in the last round against Nitty. But even still, I think his material was maybe a little stronger, even though he had the choke in there. And yeah, I think it was, we expected a bit more in the fact that it's a grudge match. They've had so long to prepare. I think it was a solid Surf. Again, from him, it wasn't his best performance. I thought he would give a little more. I think he underestimated Cortez a bit. However, Cortez didn't come at the level that I expected him to. So in that case, I guess he didn't. He did it perfectly in my mind. Although there are people who give it to Cortez. They say that Cortez, I think I've seen Cortez took the first and second and third. For me, Surf took the first and third pretty clear. The second is the closest round, but I think that Cortez had the stronger rounds, the stronger moments in that second round for sure, and I've got him taking that pretty comfortably. The crowd wasn't really feeling Cortez, but I do feel he let himself down with the way he started. Don't open, I think even maybe like someone like with the crowd control of Charlie Clips would want to warm up the crowd first before you get them into crowd participation. So yeah, I think that kind of helped throw him off a little bit from the beginning. Surf kind of talking through his route, and even the encouragement, kind of had the effect of little boy in him, basically. Made him look like, the pro up there, and helping to get the crowd on Cortez's side. Just, you know, doesn't doesn't make Cortez look, you know, like he's his equal type thing. But I do think it was a dope performance from Cortez. Um, but yeah, I don't think in general the battle lived up to what it could be, simply because we didn't really get that grudge element of it, or the strongest performances from both of them. But a good rewatchable, replayable battle overall. How did you call it? What do you think? Do you give it to Cortez? You give it to Surf? Did you repeat the SMDs back from the first round with Cortez? Let me know if you're on YouTube. Let me know in the comments who you've got taking it. And on that note, we've been going for almost an hour, which is perfect. So I think we are going to wrap up. Tom, you've got Surf. I think you said you had Surf 2-1, right? Oh no, you had Surf 30. You edged the Surf the first. I have seen some people give it to Surf all 3 rounds. But yeah, I think I guess generally it's somewhat debatable. I've seen enough people give it to Cortez to say somewhat debatable, but a lot of those is on first watch. Okay, 2-1 Surf, you got it, Tom. Yeah, I think first and third as well. You gave Cortez the second. I think that might be the consensus. And like I say, when you've got Surf giving the battle away himself, then or not the battle, when you've got him conceding the second, it's very difficult in my mind to fight for him winning that round anyway. But yeah, next week or this week we'll have Ultimate Madness to get into. There's a couple of battles I hear. Oh, what was about RBE just dropped a dope battle. I'm going to check that out, and I'm also going to get into a UK battle. I think I'll do a watch of that, but I will recap the RBE one, and there's a couple of others as well. But yes, another full show. We'll have another full show. Hopefully on time at 2 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. Eastern, and 6 a.m. Pacific time. The Gen Clock News, the place to come to find all of your latest hip hop, battle rap, and whatever there is to be talked about, we will talk about here on the Gen Clock News. Thank you everyone who tuned in. Big love to the prop gang. Thank you so much for your props. Big love, Tom. Thank you. And when I found my way to get out of here, it's getting a much smoother process though. One day I'll have a very smooth show where each transition will be perfect. But for now, I think we're doing good enough. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. You can find me on London Gen, all one word, 3 N's on my Gen, on all platforms.